Hi guys, how is it going? Welcome back to my channel, and yes, for all my new subscribers, I'm Natalia Suri and I do everything related to books. Author interviews, book reviews, book recommendations, everything. And you will also find my sessions with voodoo practitioners and tantrics and astrologers, as I had promised you that today I'll be posting in a video with an astrologer called Mr. Greenstone Lobo. But before that, I need to tell you about my last two videos which I had posted in. Yes, the one of them is how to become rich and to get those $1 million. Do check that secret out. It's very important. We love those Ferraris and those Mercs, but how to get them? Do check out my video. And yes, if you are one of those who loves conspiracy thrillers, especially like the ones which are based in Christianity, like the Da Vinci Code, you're going to love my video this side, the 5 thrillers which are somewhere similar like the Da Vinci Code. And yes, so coming back, and yeah, another thing, if you are one of those who loves books and occult sciences, you know what you need to do. You need to press that subscribe button, because my channel is full of all this books plus occult sciences. But today my guest is Mr. Greenstone Lobo. Now, we have all been to astrologers, and somewhere we have been told that you've got this dosh in your patrika, and you've got Manglik dosh in your patrika, and you have the Skalp Sarp dosh in your patrika. But are these dosh really there? It's an insight what Mr. Greenstone Lobo will give us. He is a scientific astrologer. This is what people call him. Now, what is a scientific astrologer? Another important thing, he'll tell us about astrology on basis of science. Another thing is, are there any remedies in astrology? I have heard people saying, oh, I did this remedy and I did that remedy, but are there really any remedies in astrology? And another important thing, the surprise element which I have for you is that he is going to give us an insight of Sushant Singh Rajput's death, whether it was a murder or whether it was a suicide. What are his views? I cannot wait for this interview. Come, let us talk to him and get all those secrets of astrology out. Come, let us talk to him. Hi sir, thank you so much for joining, and it's really a pleasure that you have come to my channel. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Natalia, for calling me. It's a pleasure being here.
Sir, my questions are around astrology. That you call yourself a scientific astrologer. What does a scientific astrologer mean?
Okay, first thing is I don't call myself scientific astrologer. It's a sobriquet given by some of my scribes. So some people who I was working with, they found that this is scientific. So what do I mean by, okay, now let me tell you as to what do I mean by that is how it is scientific. It differs in 3 different ways. One is it is something that the planetary positions that we use. So we're talking about the number of planets that we use in this system is different. So in this form of astrology, we use 16 planets compared to the 5 planets that is used in Indian astrology. Though they call it as Navagraha, but it's actually only 5 Graha which is used. And in the Western astrology, there are totally 9 planets used. So India it is 5, Western is 9, and I use 16 bodies. So which is 12 planets plus the nodes and the sun and the moon. So that is one. So that is the if you're talking about just the planetary thing. So this is difference. The second is when I'm talking about scientific, we are not fearing the planet. We are not worried about the planet. We are not looking at the planet as a demon, who's going to give you problems or troubles. We're trying to understand as to how we coexist with the planets. We understand what the planet is all about, how does it work, and what is it doing in my life, in my chart, and how do I maximize whatever I can. And if the planet is going to give me some sort of a trouble, then I understand what the problem is going to be, and I learn to manage the problem. Okay, it's and there is no remedies involved in the whole thing, because there is nothing called as remedy. Okay, so that is something that we'll talk about. So the scientific astrology means difference. There is a complete astrological system where there are 12 plus 2 bodies. Okay, plus we are understanding and understanding and coexisting with the planet, and not fearing them and using them, trying to cajole them by using some remedies as a flavor, and accept what you are as a person, who you are as a person, and be the best of whatever you can be. So that is what scientific astrology is about.
So how is your method different from the Vedic and the Western astrology? How would you say that you calculate in a different way?
Okay, so as I said, the number of planets differ. In Indian astrology, we talk about 5 planets. Okay, so Navagraha includes the sun and the moon. Okay, see, we know that sun and the moon are not planets; they're luminaries, they're stars. And there is nothing called as a Rahu and Ketu. Rahu and Ketu are only mathematical points. It's only a calculation. It's just a point which you calculate. So effectively, we using only 5 planets in Indian astrology. And the Western astrology uses 4 more bodies, which are Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and Chiron. So the Indian 5 and the Western 4 makes it 9 planets. But then there are 12 zodiac signs. So if there are 12 zodiac signs, then there has to be 12 planets. So this is where I have done a lot of research. And I have gone. See, if you go into Indian astrology, there was a rishi. There was a rishi who lived in India 5,000 years ago, by the name of Parashar. I mean, people who know him. So Parashar, the great rishi, the sage who lived in India, he has talked about these bodies. He has said that there is Navagraha. So he included sun and moon, and also Rahu and Ketu in the 9 planet system. Then he said that these are grahas which are visible. You can see them. Okay, they're luminous. And then there are non-luminous grahas. And he said there are 7 more grahas which the astrologer should use, and only then you will get accurate analysis. He called them as upagrahas. Okay, and he not only said them, he also named them. He named them as Varuna, Yama, Indra, Prajapati, Kuber, Isan, Vayu. Now, only when you use all of these bodies, you will get accurate analysis. So now when we look back, when you go and see in those times, because in the 5,000 years ago, when Rishi Parashar talked about these bodies, there were no telescopes, so they were not able to see. He said that I can't see the bodies; they are non-luminous. Okay, but he could feel the effect because he was a rishi. He could see the effect of the body. So now after we have telescopes, we know that what he was talking about Vayu is nothing but gas. Gas means what? The gaseous planet, which is Uranus. So he said Yama, which means what? It is the lord of death, and that is Pluto. And he said Varuna, which is nothing but the god of rain, which is Neptune. So now we can correlate. Okay, now all the other bodies are there. So what I did from my part was, I did research for almost 25 years. And 15 years I spent only on researching on these missing links in astrology. So I include 3 more bodies. I call them as X, Y, and Z. I mean, just for the sake of convenience. They are very powerful centaurs. Centaurs are bodies between Saturn and Uranus. I include them in the analysis. And only then you get a correct analysis. So I would say that mine is much more scientific and correct. The more because the accuracy becomes much more better when you're using all the bodies.
Sir, I want to ask one question. If you go to an astrologer, the first thing they tell you is, "Aapka to Pitra dosh hai, aapka Manglik dosh hai," and then you have that Kalpsarp dosh. I think every viewer who is going to see this would have heard this from any astrologer whom they would have gone in their life. So, what is your take on this Kalpsarp dosh and Pitra dosh and Manglik dosh? Are they actually there, or these are just made-up theories?
No, they. Okay, so first of all, our understanding of many of these dosh can be okay. There are 2 things here. One is the understanding of what the dosh is exactly about. The second is, can you really do something about it? Okay, so I'll address both of this. So number one is, see, if you talk about, let's say, Pitra dosh, okay, or a Manglik. So Manglik is the most common one. I meet many parents, so they tell me that, I don't believe in astrology. So I ask them why. And the next question is immediately why. So then, what? The best astrologer in Jaipur solemnized my daughter's wedding. They said that, Manglik hai ladki, to usko ek ladke se shaadi karwaya, jiska, wo bhi Manglik hai, and usme, we did all this, we did all the vidhi, and then see, but still, the girl is now divorced. Okay, so I don't believe it doesn't work. The point is that first of all, okay, what we need to understand is 2 things here. One is, if there is a problem in the chart, it will manifest, it will happen. Okay, so if you do a proper reading of a horoscope, if something is there in the chart, it will happen. See, what we need to understand is the basic here, the basis of astrology, not the basic. The basis of astrology is past life. So this is not the first time that you've been in this world. We have been here many times before. So we carry forward a lot of karma karmic, manifestations, karma, the remnants of the karma in our lives. So when you look into the chart, you can see all the positive karma and the negative karma. All the benefits of the positive karma will manifest, and all the negatives or the negative karma will manifest. So while we enjoy all the benefits of the good karma, you can't say that no, this problem should not come in my life. Let me do some puja, tantra, mantra, yantra, wear a stone, and change every other problem. No, you can't. It will come to you. You cannot eliminate them. You cannot escape them. I mean, how can another human being change your life? You can't change your life. So first of all, the calculation of what is a manglik itself is a big problem. There are so many. There are so many theories around it. I'm not getting into the theory part of it because it's a very complex thing, and it's not a complex thing. I mean, you need to understand that it's not just about the Mars. We talk only about Mars in India, but Mars and Venus are important in relationship. And we're not just looking at Mars and Venus. You also have to look at the 5th house and the 7th house. So the relationship with the Mars, and Mars means a different thing in the male chart, and it means a different thing in the female chart. For females, you need to look at Mars more, and for males, you need to look at the Venus more, because that indicates the woman in your life. For a Venus indicates the woman in life for a male, and Mars indicates the male in a female chart. Now the position of that will indicate how the relationship is going to be with the person. But you also have to look at the 5th house and the 7th house. So in India, we don't look at all of these things. We only look at the position of Mars. 4th house means Manglik. 7th house means Manglik. 8th house means Manglik. But it's not just the position of the Mars. And also there are so many other things that can negate it. Like, if a person is a dancer, you use something about the body. 8th house means a body. So if a person is let's say a model, as a model, your body is so important. And if a lady has a Mars in the 8th house and she's a model, it's not a negative placement, it's a positive placement. Because she's using the energy of the body in her expression of the body, so and the body is being utilized. If that is a sports person, if the girl is a sports person, or if that is a male who has a Mars in the 8th house and if he plays sports, it's a positive thing. So we are not looking into all of these, the ifs and the buts. We just say 8th house Mangal matlab kharab hai. It's not like that. It doesn't work that way. You need to look at the ifs and the buts, look at what the person is doing, and look at the 5th house and the 7th house to actually arrive at what can actually mean in your life in terms of relationships. And secondly, you have to accept it. You can't change it. So that's what my take on it.
So there are no remedies.
There is nothing called as a remedy. Okay, just tell me. I'll tell you a very simple thing. If we'll have remedies in life, who should be the richest people in the country?
The politicians and the ministers and all.
No. The astrologers.
Okay.
Right? No. Who should be the richest people in the world? The astrologers. Okay. So astrologer के पास तो हर चीज का विधि है ना, तंत्र है ना. So astrologer will wear one stone and eliminate some planet's problem. He will wear another stone or do something else and eliminate somebody else. So he should also change his own life, right? Change entire planetary position by wearing some stone or do some vidhi, and let me become the richest person in the city, in the country. Okay, or let me become the superstar. No. Okay, you'll see that most of the astrologers don't even know where the next money is going to come from. And they are changing people's lives. How can you do that? So there is nothing called as a remedy. A remedy is, if you're doing remedy, then I have a lot of questions on that.
Sir, how much is astrology the pure calculation which you read, and how much is it your own interpretation? Like, once I read an article which said that astrological interpretation, when you go to an astrologer, it's 50% what the astrologer interprets your chart and it's 50% on the paper. So what is your opinion on this?
It's I would say it is completely interpretation based on the data, based on the chart.
Yeah.
In fact, I would say that when you meet a person, when you meet a person, the person's behavior, the person's, how the person looks, the person's mannerisms, all of those things can impact your psyche. See, you don't need astrology. You and I can actually read people, right? We can look at a person and you can read a person, right? There are so many books written on how to read a body language. So, I don't meet people at all. If you go to my website, I tell people not to reveal anything about them. Okay, I tell them that please don't tell me anything about yourself. People, what is the point in going to an astrologer and telling all your problem and then telling him, please tell me the solution? Okay? An astrologer is someone who should actually read you. Okay? You don't say anything about yourself. You give your chart to the person. Your data should speak. the astrologer should be able to see the planet and describe the personality of a person, how the person will look, okay, what kind of a person he or she is, give an entire personality description and everything about what the person's life is all about. So that is true astrology. Through astrology, you can know all of those things. So if you're going to be, so actually it is all about data. You can actually read a person's entire life using astrology. It is not about intuition or anything else. If there is no personal interpretation, it's all about astrological data interpretation.
Sir, one question I have is that, I was a twin child, and my brother who was born, it was a stillborn baby. Now, I have always been intrigued to ask one question, that two twins born at the same time, how come they have two different destinies?
Okay, that's a very, very good question, and I'm very happy that you asked this question so that I can actually answer this to many people who ask this question to me. Okay, so when you have when you look at a chart, there are only 16 bodies, right? I mean, 12 planets plus Sun and the Moon and the Rahu and Ketu. But the manifestations can be millions. There are millions of possibilities in life, right? Now, what are you looking at? The chart is a map of how your life is going to be. And one planet which is placed in a particular house indicates multiple possibilities. We need to understand that. There is not one possibility of one planet being here. Now that exactly depends on your past life. Okay, now let's say that, for example, both of you are born on the same date and time, and both of you have the same chart. And let's say that you have some planet in the 8th house or in the 6th house. Okay. So now what happens is, or in the 12th house. So these three are planets which can make a person die early. So when you have a stillborn child, it can mean that. But the same planet in the same position indicates some other career options also. The 8th house, for example, means healing. Okay, healing, alternate healing, everything to do with occult sciences and stuff. I don't know if you're interested in those things. So all sorts of secret mysteries of life is all connected to the 8th house. So probably I assume that your the twin would have had the 8th house. The 8th house indicates death. So the child has died, and probably you could be someone who's connected to the occult sciences. See, both the things are indicated by the same house. The planet there indicates the same thing. Okay, but the manifestation is different because that child is coming with a different karma and you are coming with a different karma. Okay, so if you give me twins chart, see, I will not be exactly saying that, this is exactly the career you're going to do. I'll say, these are the two possibilities of the career, 1, 2, and 3 option. If one of that happens to you, the other will happen to somebody else. So even if you're twins, the life manifestation will be different. Okay, I know that the planet is the same. See, there can be somebody who's a 9th house birth. 9th house means being a subject matter expert, being a teacher, trainer, coach, guru, guide, mentor, advisor, or even spirituality. You will say that, mera twins hai, ek ban gaya, one is he's a consultant with the IT, and the other one has become a priest. Okay, dono dekho alag hai, zindagi alag hai. How astrology works, it doesn't work. But I know that it's a 9th house manifestation. Spirituality is also 9th house. Being a consultant is also 9th house. Am I clear what I'm saying?
Sir, in India, many people bank their marriages on this Gun Milana, this Patrika Milana. What is your opinion on this? That should people do it, and after doing it also they'll end up in divorce? I've heard these stories where people have said, I went to 10 astrologers, all said that my horoscope was matching perfect, and within a month I got divorced. So what is your opinion on this?
Okay, first of all, Gun Milana is based on only one factor, and that is moon sign. It's very unfortunate in India, we give a lot of importance to the moon. Okay, moon and the nakshatra. Okay, moon moving in that 27 nakshatra is what we give importance to. Your entire life is deciphered on the basis of moon. Okay, मतलब मूल निर्मूल है, लड़की का निर्मूल मतलब मूल है, मूल नक्षत्र में है, मतलब वो निर्मूल है उसका life. I mean, come on, there are so many millions of girls with moon nakshatra, they do fantastic in life. Okay, your nakshatra or your moon sign cannot determine everything in life. There are so many. There are 11 more bodies, or there are 15 more bodies. Okay, so the entire Gun Milan is based on only moon sign. And see, what we need to understand is that it's not just about moon sign. Okay, first of all, Gun is what? Your characteristics. The characteristics cannot be based only on moon sign. It is also based on the position of your sun sign and the Mercury sign. Sun indicates the soul, the Mercury indicates the mind, and moon indicates emotions. So personality, a person is a combination of, mind, soul, mind, and emotions, right? So the position where you have sun, the zodiac signs where you have the sun, Mercury and moon, the permutation and combination of that makes up individual. So if you ask an astrologer who does Gunmilan to even describe a person, can you describe a person? They will only talk on the basis of the moon sign. But if you include all of these three, only then you can get that complete personality description. Okay, so they are missing those two factors. So it is only 33% of a matching which is done. The rest of the 66% is missing. Then I also told you about so many other factors like the 5th house and 7th house and all that. So they're not doing all of them. So Gunmilan matchmaking is absolutely rubbish. I mean, I'm sorry to use the word, but yeah, that is true.
Sir, according to you, one should be very practical, or one should do this in some at certain maybe after a certain point, this Patrika Milana, or one shouldn't do it. One should just see the individual.
Okay, see, Patrika Milana you should do to understand exactly what you're getting into. Okay, so you are not going to be. I mean, it's like you need to know your people in life, isn't it? You need to know about, okay, what kind of a spouse are you getting into. You need to, I mean, you're going to live with the devil, so better understand the devil better, right? So, I mean, spouse, whoever, it's so your spouse is someone who you're going to live with for the next 30, 40, 50 years probably. Okay, so you need to know the person well. So for that reason, you can know the person very well. So you will know exactly as to, see, it's a very simple thing. Like, you are let's say the girl is a Sagittarius dominant, okay, girl, and the man is a Cancerian dominant male. Let's assume that. Most Cancerian men are mama's boys, okay, and Sagittarian girls, will, and I'm not talking about a typical Sagittarian, okay, we're talking about Sun, Mercury, Moon's position, okay, so don't take it as a typical Sagittarius. So, what will happen is that this mama's boy, son, will always take decisions based on his mama's advice, and this girl, Sagittarian girl, will want to break free and run, okay, will want to do whatever she wants to do. She will not have any restriction on what she has to do and all that. Now, there's going to be a huge clash. So, you need to know whom you're getting into, what kind of a person you're going to meet. It's not just about your spouse, it's also about your boss, your employees, people who are working for you. So astrology can be used as a tool to understand people very well and also coexist with them.
So how much can astrology predict? There are astrologers, I've heard people saying that my astrologer told me on this particular date this will happen, and it actually happened. So, and I've also heard stories where people say, no, this particular day this will happen, but it didn't happen. So how specific can astrology be?
So yeah, see, it is this very, very specific date. Mentioning a date can be very, very difficult. But you can specify certain months and certain, like a 6-month period or a 3-month period or a 1-year period. For example, if somebody is not married, you can say that, okay, so let's say in 2022, the maximum by 2022, and you can get married. So we're looking at a 1.5-year period, something like that. So you can say something like this, or you're looking at something more acute, then you can talk about something like in the next 3 months' time. But specifying a date can be very, very difficult, and if somebody is doing it, then something really fabulous. But not everyone can do it, and not every time even the same person will get it right. I mean, it's very, very difficult that you can do such kind of calculations.
Sir, does it worry you that your methods have not been validated by any formal astrological society? Does it worry you anywhere that?
Not at all. In fact, even in India, we have 100 type of people, telling that their astrology is the best astrology of doing it. So it's okay. It doesn't really matter. I'm not very bothered about anything. In fact, I'm sure that most of the traditional astrologers hate me. Okay, because their business comes from their business model is, they charge you, like 200 rupees or 500 rupees. Okay, it's just an entry token, and then their money making system comes from, prescribing you remedies. Okay, so I'm on a consultancy model. So it's a different thing. So we are different, coming from different schools of thought. I'm not even bothered about what they think about me. Okay, and it's fine. It doesn't matter. All of these, formal acknowledgement doesn't make any sense at all. It does. It is a society, it's a club that they form within themselves. So one club not recognizing you doesn't make much of a difference.
Sir, what is your take on Corona? When will Corona end? I think everybody wants to know.
Yeah. So I made a video in March, okay, where I had talked about how this will peak around August, okay. and after that it will start slowing down, which means the virulence of the virus will go down, and by the end of the year it will be over. Okay, and so that is exactly what's happening. I mean, if you see, it has peaked around in July, August, and now we are hearing, everyone is saying that the virulence is going down, which means that the percentage of people who are dying because of the infection is going down, and the percentage of people who are recovering, the recovery rate is becoming very fast now. People are recovering very, very quickly, and the gory deaths which was happening is not happening now. Which is which is a very positive thing. And you'll also see this. See, by the end of it all, by the end of this year, or I would say the maximum it can go on till March. So which means till March there would be the corona thing will be there. But I would say by the end of this year, we will have learned to live with that, and it'll go away. There will be no, people talk about recurrence yoga, and there will be another wave of infection and all that. I'm not believing in all of this. It'll go away. In fact, the vaccine which people are planning to launch and all that will not even make much of an impact, because by the time it would have been gone.
Okay.
Like
Sir, last question is on Sushant Singh Rajput's death. You think it's a murder? You think it was a suicide? What is your opinion?
It's very clearly, it's very unfortunate that, we got the birth detail after he died, after he passed away. And it's very, it's very clearly a suicide. I mean, there is no question about that. Nobody's killed him. Okay, so it is, I know there is one anchor, who's a famous anchor, who was making a huge tom-tom about, he being killed and all that, it's not a murder at all. That's for sure. That's 100% sure. It is a suicide for sure. Now, what drove him to suicide and who were responsible for his suicide? I mean, he committing the suicide. I mean, that is something that you'll have to look into. But it's definitely a suicide.
Okay. Sir, thank you so much for the insight on astrology. I think it is a very different insight which you have shared. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much for calling me. It's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
So guys, I was in conversation with Mr. Greenstone Lobo. You have the questions, my email address is given below. And yes, before I go, you know what you need to do. You need to press that subscribe button, yes, and do share your views and comments, which is very, very important. And another thing, you need to check out my blog, www.nataliasuri.com. Now, if you are one of those who loves religious mysteries, like how is Ganesha worshipped in Japan, are Egyptian gods really Hindu gods, are Nazca lines got something to do with Hinduism, all these articles plus the one which I really love, which I posted in recently, was, do I suffer from vampire hours? And if I do suffer from vampire hours, how does that affect the economy of the world? You would only come to know once you check out my blog. Yes, www.nataliasuri.com. And yes, another important thing is that you need to take care of yourself. Keep smiling. Why? Because you look beautiful when you smile. I'll be seeing you soon with another video which I'll be posting in very soon. Take care of yourself. Bye.